Here we go. I'm going to teach you the secret to figuring out major seventh chords. Okay, so this is totally unrehearsed. I'm going to go off the cuff and see if I could make it easy for you to play major seventh chords. So let's start with the key of C. Here's your C chord. Right, that's a C. So a major seventh is just you're going to take your C note of the C chord, your high C. Here's the low C note. Here's the high C note. So you're going to drop your C note 1/2 step to a B, and that makes it a major seventh. So here's your C, C major seventh. Now that works in every chord. If you play a G, let's play it like this. We could do both. We'll do this first. We're going So here's your G note here, and you're descending down to here. So G, G major seventh. There you go. Now let's take an A chord. Now I suggest playing your A chord like this. Instead of these three or these three, I would get your pointer finger down on the second fret. That's kind of how James Taylor plays it, Tom Petty. So here's your A chord. Your A note here is low A, high A. So then you make your chord, which will be these three notes. Then you're going to drop your A down to an A flat. See that? Okay, so you got an A major seventh, pick up this finger, and you got an A seventh. See, it works for all the chords. So C, let's take Something by the Beatles. Something in the way she moves, major seventh. Then you go C seventh. Attracts me like no other lover. See that? C major seventh. And then you're gonna catch your seventh right here. So it works on all the chords. Let's do it in A. Something in the way she moves, seventh. Attracts me like no other lover. So that works in every key. So let's see, you got C, you got A, you got G. Let's try D. So here's your D. Here's your D note here. Here's your octave. So same thing. Then you see that? D to D major seventh. So if you're playing something in D, something in the way she moves. Then you go down to a seventh. Attracts me like no other lover. Okay, so we got the C. We got the A. Let's just go from the major seventh to the seventh on every chord. C, C major seventh, C seventh. Let's do A. A major seventh, seventh. Let's do D. D major 7th, just flatten all three of these. And here's your D 7th. Okay, got that? So, that's, let's do it in all the keys. Let me get some more. Here's G. Something in the way. So you got here. She moves. Then you got G 7th. So let's do it like this. So G, something in the way. G 7th. Okay, so we got those. Now let's go with another, let's go in E. How about that? So in E, your best bet on E would be to play your A shape. Here's an A flat, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Okay, so here's E. So you could do it like whatever way you want, like here or like this. Here's your note. You want to get it down to there, so your shape's going to be right here. See that? And here's your 7th. One more time. So we got E, E major 7th, E 7th, A. Okay, so you got that? Now we're going to take course with no name and really show you how to work around these chords in the key of G. So it's got a little intro like this. Now here's the way he plays G major 7th. Okay, so G major 7th, you could do it like this. Say like this. Low bass. So if you can do it with your thumb, you can do it like, you could add this note, you could add this note, and then this one, and here you got the whole spectrum. See that? It's like taking a G chord, like here, switching your finger around. So, there's your G, here's your C. That's your bass note C. So this major 7th position is cool. And here's how, let me show you some different ways to do it. Here's your C, major 7th. Or you could do it like this. You could do like that, or like this here. So if you want to play the chords down low, you do your G major 7th here, like right here. See that? You're playing a C chord like this. That's your major 7th. That B note here. Okay, so you got that. So G major 7th right here. You could do it, let's do it like this. If you want to sound nice and full, if you're playing it by yourself, you go. Then. Got it? Or G major 7th. Or like this. Or like this. Or add this note. Or add this note. So you go. Now here's another C major 7th position you want. So here's a couple ways to play C major 7th. Here's one way. C C major 7th, or you play a C like this. Got this one. Remember, you got A, B flat, B, C. Got that? So you could do, and here's your major 7th. You're just going to drop your note down to here. So we got, so something in the way she moves. Something in the way she moves. 7th. Okay, so that's a great way to play major 7th chords. Like this, right here. That's C major 7th. Now if you play a C like this, you can play your major 7th also like this. You take these notes here, right here. So here's a C note here, and you could just drop it a half step, and there's your C major 7th. So if you're playing Tin Man, you know, let's go for a little bit. G major 7th to C major 7th. That's the verse. Here comes the chorus. You play it like this. But I never did do nothing to the Tin Man. See how cool that is? With an A bass, that works. But I never did do nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. See that? That's a C. So you could do that in every chord in the A shape. A to A major 7th. But if you do in this shape, you go. That's an A major 7th. So like A here. Drop the A down a half step to A major 7th. Do it in C, look at here. Or C right here. C major 7th. D, right here, cool, listen to this. Here's the D. So you get my drift, we're going just in the A shape. Here's the E up here. You want to do your major 7th, you can do it here. There's so many ways to play this chord. You could do it like this. If you're, once you get good, you could play your E chord like this, which would be these 3 notes on top. This is the major 7th. Here's the D, D major 7th, E, E major 7th. But you could play the whole E chord like this, see that? And you could go, pick up your middle finger. You could do that in G too, like here's a G. So you could do them all up and down the neck, these major 7th chords. There's so many great songs with them. You know, let's just do 4 songs with major 7ths, and we'll just do them in C. So, you're just too good to be true. C, C major 7th. Can't take my eyes off of you. Here's the C 7th. You be like heaven to touch. And then land on the F. So you got that. You got something in the way she moves. Attracts me like no other lover. And then say the song Telephone Line by ELO, where it goes A, hello, A major 7th, how are you, A 7th, do you feel alright, in the lonely, I can't remember what the next one is, A 7th, lonely. Oh, then you go to the diminished chord. Okay, that's another thing you could do. when you're playing the A in this position. So let's do this song. Hello, A7, how are you? Do you feel alright? Is it lonely, 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 lonely? Yeah, that's cool right there, listen. That's diminished. So like if you're playing Friends in Low Places, eh? Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. You just take your A note and go up to a B flat. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. Ruined your black tie affair. Yeah, so many options with these major seventh chords. So let me just start one more time. I'm going to show you all the major sevenths I could think of in the key of G. So here's the G, G major seventh. Got that one? You could do it like this. If you could use your thumb, you could hit this one and add this note. Nice. G major seventh in this position. You just do it like this. G like this. Right here is your G. You play the whole chord and you go. And you just pick this one up. It gets a little harder up here. Your fingers get scrunched a little more. So, G, G major 7. G, G major 7. G, G major 7th. And then if you play a G up here, you could go, which would be like the, that's a G major 7th. You could do 12 frets apart. Okay, yeah, I'm totally self-taught, and that's the way I learn things. I just mess around on the guitar and find the right notes, and you're going to really upgrade your playing when you learn these major sevenths. Like Peter Frampton right here. Got that? What's this one called? This is a Wonder How You Feeling, D. There's ringing in my ear, and no one to relate to except the sea. See the D to D major 7th. Now you can do it here. You can play your D here. So you got your D like this. A lot of people play it like this. Here's your D chord here. Play it like this. And all you do is drop your D note here, a half step. So, I think Paul and maybe I'm amazed at the, see that? Maybe I'm amazed at the way. Maybe I'm amazed. Maybe I'm amazed at the way it's done. Okay, that's 20 minutes of the major 7th chords. So just mess around all your chords. You can figure it out on your own. Just remember, the secret is you take your, if you're playing a D chord, here's your D note right here. You just drop it one half step and you have your major 7th chord. Okay, I hope that helps. if you want to like and subscribe my channel, that would really, really get this channel rolling more. So like and subscribe, and I will keep pumping out these lessons. Good luck.